It's Thursday, April 5th, 2012. It's the 404 show. Still streaming live on CNET TV. I'm Jeff Bacalar.
And I'm Justin Yu, and I really wish I could do the voice, but I'm not gonna. This is the show where we were monitoring that scan.
Yes.
You are terminated.
So Back to the Future once again creeping into our news of the day, and we'll get to that in just a second.
It was a sting operation.
It's funny, we're finding every day that science fiction movies are dictating our technological advancements. They really are. The Marty McFly shoes,
Right.
Those have become realities. Hoverboards,
The
those are
Minority Report is
realities.
happening.
Minority Report, Blade Runner, they all seem to come back and bite us.
Yeah, the Jits was right after all.
He was right. So the big headline yesterday, or at least it's been making a lot of news lately, is what Google has sort of been teasing
Right.
with their Google Glass project. Now, before we even get into this, the first thing, so you watched that video?
Yeah, I watched the video.
Can you play it so people know like what exactly we're talking about if they
Okay.
have the luxury of watching our
So,
video podcast
What
here?
we're talking about right now is sort of a day in the life of what Google calls Project Glass, and
Yeah.
this is basically the materialization of what we talked about earlier this year. This is their augmented reality goggles, and they sort of just everything you do from like eating breakfast to making calls, taking photos. These glasses sort of project an image on top of what you're seeing in real life.
So it's
that
ta-
show weather information,
Right.
text messages, etc.
So it's basically taking augmented reality
Yeah, that was
to the
my
next
apartment.
level. There you go.
Yeah.
You're walking. I mean, look, they have a lot. Let's just play audio for a second here.
So they're showing you, a map, walking directions.
Hey there, guy. Hey there, little guy.
No, yeah, dogs come up to you. Yeah.
Yeah. This is cool. This is all around my neighborhood. They
Sweet.
actually show my apartment
Remind me to
building.
buy
Do they?
tickets
Yeah.
for Monsieur Gano tonight.
Well, it is definitely aimed towards the generation of people
Where's the
that.
music section?
That part pisses me
I
off.
like that they go into the Strand bookstore. That's kind of cool. I mean, this is really just like Hipsterville 15,000.
Kind of ironic that
Oh,
he's using
yes.
Google
This
glasses
is
to
it.
go into a bookstore.
Is Paul here yet?
Yeah. And it's weird that his vision is fish-eyed. But anyway,
So this is kind of cool. His friend also has a pair of the glasses,
Right.
and he can share his location, so they'll meet up really easily. Then go get coffee and probably
Right.
not talk to each other because they have a lot of information in their
right.
face.
So Google sees a world where everyone dresses the same.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, they've really sort of turned a lot of people's heads with what they are ambitiously aspiring to achieve.
Sure.
And I think it's really cool. I think it's sort
Do
of
you really do think it's cool? Because I
I
thought
do.
you would have a field day by making fun of this.
well. Can you pull up so on the Google Glass page, they sort of show examples of what these apparatuses would look like.
Uh-huh. Let me
They-
see if I can bring this
Yeah,
up.
but it's like google.com/glass, whatever it is. And they're like very thin, sort of streamlined eyeglasses, I guess is
Mhm.
the best way to. And they're not even glasses. They just sort of have a flap that fold down here. You have it up on your screen.
Right,
here.
it's sort of like a face band. Like
Right.
if you were to take a headband and pull it over your eyes.
Right.
So they're talking about several different designs. This is a prototype, like I
Sure.
said earlier. But
Of course. They
you know,
seem
they're
to
talking
be
about
enjoying themselves.
having one for people that already wear eyeglasses,
Right.
that you could just stick over them,
Right.
which sounds really cool to me. I don't know. To me, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, what about your peripheral vision on the right-hand side?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, what about just cars coming on your right?
Right. If I'm in New York City and I'm trying to make my way through the dangerous streets of New York City, trying to pay attention to one, traffic, and two, my little heads-up display,
Yeah.
I'm getting hit by a truck, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
You
so
know?
a lot of people are immediately take the argument that, oh, this is going to distract everyone from walking more
Sure.
so than they already are.
You know, we have problems with people being distracted driving. Now it's going to be walking.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, so let's really break this down here. When you have a phone and you're walking in your hand, you're looking down.
Yeah, no,
this
that's
at
bad
least
too.
presents an
That's bad.
opportunity to look forward at the same time. It's
Sure.
like the same idea as putting augmented reality in your driver's
Sure.
windshield.
Sure.
So I don't know, it might actually prevent some people from walking into the middle of the street.
The problem I have with the video is that there are a lot of things that get activated
Right.
without them ever saying anything. He just he gets a pop up.
Mhm.
So how does he activate the pop up? Like he sees he's got 6 messages. He
Right.
just goes, "Huh." and the freaking messages start reading themselves.
Right.
You know, like I know it's all doesn't exist and it's just sort of like a prototype video or like, not even a proof of concept, but just like a ambitious sort of video.
Right.
But like, how is that going to work? How will you select certain things? It's all going to be voice?
Well,
how's that gonna
some
work?
of it will be voice, like dictation through sending text messages, but also in this blog, they talk about having physical buttons on the glasses themselves.
Right.
So if you want to pick up a call or whatever,
Sure.
just like you would with a Bluetooth headset, you would just press the button and it
Right.
would activate. But I don't know. So my problem with this is that I feel like technology that you wear is supposed to it's supposed to make things easier, and
Yeah.
right? It's supposed
Yeah.
to take tech away from you, but
You mean
essentially,
it's supposed to sort of be seamless.
yeah, it's supposed to get it out of the way, like,
Right.
You don't want to have to pull a phone out of your pocket. You know?
Sure.
But I don't know. So my biggest problem is that when he walks into Strand, instead of actually talking to somebody, he says, "Where is the what is it, like the comics
Music section.
Music section, right?" When you could just ask the guy standing right there.
Yeah.
And as to everyone else, it's going to seem like this dude is just talking to himself.
Yeah. I mean, look, people already talk to themselves.
Yeah.
That's not something new. We've all learned to live with that. Hate it or love it, it's a reality.
I guess when Bluetooth headsets came out,
The
idea of talking to yourself became.
And even that,
Okay.
and why do some people? I never understood this. Why do you people think you need to talk louder when you're on the phone? Do you know what I mean? There's like a certain thing. Like if I'm at a restaurant, and people are all having conversations. I get like, yeah, you're right in front of somebody. When your phone rings, you're like, oh hey,
Yeah.
I'm in the restaurant. You don't understand that.
Yeah.
Why do people just start speaking louder?
I think it's the same idea as when you have headphones on. You just block out so much of the outside noise that you
Right.
feel like.
Oh, you're the king of that.
Yeah, they're probably not doing it intentionally, but.
It's a little pet peeve I have. But
yeah.
I know you thought I was going to hate all over this. I'm kind of into it. I just think I don't know. And it also is cool because it's sort of them almost saying me like, your move, Apple.
Yeah.
You know? Like this thing already works better than Siri and it's not even real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's going to be my biggest issue with it is that there's going to be a lot of privacy issues. Right? I mean, how easy is it for you to just record a conversation now just by, flicking your finger up in the air?
Yeah.
You could do that, or recording a movie is going to be a lot easier too.
I guess.
There's no way to tell when people are recording you.
I liked when he saw that graffiti and he's like, "Oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
Take a photo of this." And he just like closes his eyes or whatever.
And
the
he
hell he
like
does.
blinks twice.
You know?
Yeah, I
He's
wish
just
they would
like,
respond to like weird facial movements.
Take a photo of this, Google goggles.
Yeah.
And he's just like,
Blink 17 times to take a photo.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, there's a
pretty
lot of
funny.
parody videos that have already come out making fun of this.
Has there
too.
been?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
We'll show one for this. But you made a good point that a lot of their inspiration came from things like Back to the Future.
It's true, man. There you go.
He is on the phone.
What was her name? Marlene McFly
yeah.
and Marty McFly Jr.
Yeah, even
pretty-
these look cooler than the Google.
They
goggles.
do look cooler, and it's amazing though how we just sort of evolved to that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The flying car yesterday.
Do you remember these? This is what I think Google based their design off of. The infamous Cap Shout and Shoot 2.
Yeah.
I wanted this so bad when I was a kid. This is basically like a voice-activated water gun that you
Yep.
mount onto your head like a HUD,
Right.
basically, and it has a microphone that comes down. I remember the commercial very distinctly too. The kid would just be like, "Fire, fire, fire!"
Yeah.
And then it would shoot his burst of water out of his ear.
It wasn't. You could say anything though.
Yeah.
It didn't obviously know the word fire.
Right. You could say like romaine lettuce, cat poop, and it would shoot water. It was so cool.
I love how it's got this like reticle around his eye
Right.
because that's where the water's going.
Yeah.
That's how you aim your
That's how you
water.
aim,
So
right.
that's where the water's gonna go.
It was. I always wanted one of these things, and it came with a belt clip that
Yeah.
housed the water
Right.
reservoir. It was so cool.
It was cool.
And I would always imagine doing like. I mean, this is around the time that like Terminator came out too. Like,
Sure.
Late '80s, early '90s.
Yeah.
Just imagine having like 2 super soakers in your hand and this head-mounted water gun.
It's pretty freaking
King of the
awesome.
playground, my friend.
It's pretty awesome, man. I want to get one of those bad. I never had the fortune to get my hands on one of
no,
those.
I want one of these bad Larrys.
One of these bad Larrys.
Imagine having this a water shooter in the Google goggles.
It'd be sick, man.
That's what they need.
You know, I mean, clearly, where's that functionality?
So
It's
you would
just not
buy
the-
into this?
I'm into it, man. I mean, I don't want to wear that stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's the whole thing with me. I don't want to wear 3D glasses. I don't want to wear a Google Glass.
Mm-hmm.
I just want bionic implants.
Yeah. Well, that could be sort of coming soon. I guess the same guy that designed the glasses also made contact lenses with augmented reality
See,
displays.
to me, if like, you know what I mean? Like if we're doing that, if we have this optical apparatus that straddles our face,
Yeah.
well, like, come on, that sounds pretty inventive. Just put it in my eyeball.
Yeah.
You know?
You
Is
don't
that-
need another thing attached to
I
your
don't want
face.
any sort of implant. Let me take a step back. I don't want to have to go under the knife.
Right.
But let me just like pop a little contact in my eye.
Well, okay.
Is that crazy?
No, that's not crazy, but it would also totally hide the fact that you have this in your eye. That
Exactly.
might be even creepier.
Why? Oh, so it's okay if I have a headband across my eyes
At
and
least
going,
then you know someone
a
has
photo
Google
of this.
goggles.
you know, and then it's that's
Yeah, I wish people. Yeah, watch the video today.
The
Good
videos,
facial expression.
I just and the vanity shots of it are funny because it's like Google saying like, look how chic this is.
Right.
Look how, elite.
But you
it
know what they
is."
don't show in the heads-up display is all the ads that are probably going to get put into your face that are like literally right in your eye now because it's not going to be free. Or if it is free, those ads will subsidize it.
Yeah, it really gets you paranoid. You can really go down a very ugly spiral
Right.
and just sort of contemplate, okay, so now Google owns my freaking eyesight. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we talked about NFC technology and ads popping up as you walk by like a Starbucks, for
Right.
example, to say, oh, within the next hour, if you buy a coffee from here and scan your phone,
Right.
you'll get 30% off. That's going to happen in your face now.
How terrifying is that?
I don't want that.
It's like, look left, Jeff. What? Huh?
Yeah.
Oh.
Watch out for that car. What if it just says that?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
All right, let's move right along. Our own good friend.
I love that face you do. When,
take a photo, Google Glass. Good. It's like everyone just flopping around trying to take photos of their stupid. Anyway, Emily Dreyfus, good friend of the show, good friend of ours personally and professionally.
Mm-hmm.
She wrote something yesterday that really got the attention of a lot of people, titled "iPhone users: Android is ruining our Instagram club."
Yeah.
Well, guess what, Emily? I don't want to be in your stupid club anyway. You know what I mean? Like, what kind of club is this?
Yeah.
Do you? I know what she's talking about. Do you know what she means here?
She's talking about Instagram.
Yeah.
And so Instagram rolled out for Android users, I think, 2 days ago or yesterday.
Yes, it did.
And so now, you're starting to see a lot more people joining that feed. Apparently, according to some tweets that we're looking at here, Instagram users that use iPhones originally are pissed because they think that people that use Android phones have crappy taste based on the lower price of the handsets.
Right. So this is it right here. It's like social racism.
Right,
Is what it
exactly.
is right away. Listen to what these freaking elitist dorks said. Joel on Twitter. Instagram went from a gated community to Section 8 in one day.
Boom!
Go F yourself, you freaking elitist. Are
I can't
you kidding
believe they
me?
took it there.
How dare you even say that? That is offensive.
Yeah, Mela Montana says Instagram just went from a country club to a club in the country all in one day.
Wow, these people should be arrested.
Yeah. Oh,
They should be arrested.
I know that some people are using the word ghetto too, which is terrible. Like I was looking up Twitter feeds.
I mean,
today.
then it goes from the joking racism thing they were talking
Right,
about to
just
actual
overt
straight up racism.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
So I'm not going to be speaking for iPhone users here, though I do have an iPhone and have Instagram on it. But people are saying that, okay, they're drawing a line between the inexpensive price of Android smartphones along with the cheaper data plans that you would pay for
Yeah.
versus the $100 minimum iPhone plan plus the $299 minimum subsidized price of the AT&T and Verizon plans.
Right.
So you have to pay more
Right.
if you want an iPhone. And they're saying that for some reason they're going to take shittier photos based on the cheaper price of the handsets. Is that true?
First off, that makes my blood boil. That type of mentality. Number
Yeah.
one.
They're also saying that maybe because they spend less, they live in crappier areas, so the
Right.
photos they take won't be of as pretty things.
Well, maybe your diluted sense of value where you think that just because you buy a more expensive handset
Yeah.
puts you in this elite classification.
Right.
You are, oh my God.
And don't forget that you can choose to follow whoever you want
Yeah.
on Instagram, you know?
Yeah.
And if people want to follow you, they can do that, but you don't have to follow them back.
I
It's a
don't,
voluntary opt-in social network.
do you think, I don't think Emily was anticipating this sort of feedback.
Well, she wasn't. This was a news report.
Right,
She's not
she-
saying she is.
Of course not. We know
subscribes to
Emily
this.
very well. She is not a crazy person like
Mhm.
some of the people who are tweeting here.
Right.
Let's really get that out there and clear that up.
Well, we've talked about socioeconomics in relation to Android versus iPhones before.
Hold that thought real quick.
Okay.
I paid more for a Galaxy Nexus.
No, you
Yes, I
didn't.
did. It's
Uh-oh.
$299.
I paid $299
For what?
for my iPhone.
Oh, okay.
And
Well,
how
it's
much
the
is your monthly plan?
It's like, well, with the discount, I pay like 80 something.
Oh, no. See, I pay 100, so you
Well,
have no right to be on Instagram.
I'm actually deleting it.
'Cause
I
I'm
didn't
taking
even
pictures of
download
gold
it.
bullion and Fabergé eggs. What are you taking photos of?
And you do it in a sepia filter, so you know how freaking trendy and cool it is. Give me a break.
I take pictures
You
of
know,
rich stuff.
it's
man.
ridiculous. What do you
pictures of
people
gutters.
think the photography community said once all you idiots got your hands on these filters?
Yeah,
You think they're all
exactly.
like, "Hey, welcome to the club, fellow photographer." They're like, "No, you're ruining the aesthetic."
Right.
It's the same damn thing, and now you're turning it around on Android users.
Let's break.
Jump off a bridge
Whoa.
and take an Instagram photo when you get down there.
The fact that anyone can afford a smartphone is some first world crap, right? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
anyone that can pay over 50, 10, 20, 30, $40, you know, should be able to use whatever apps
For
they
sure.
want. Let's go back to this Hunch survey that we talked about actually last year.
Yeah, let's.
This breaks down some of those socioeconomic stats. They're saying that Android users 80% more likely to actually have a high school degree. So that goes against what iPhone users are saying.
Well, I don't like to, draw attention to my achievements.
Wait a minute. Don't
Okay,
get
go
too
on.
greedy here, because it's also saying that. What was that?
I don't know. Keep going.
That was a weird Sideshow Bob laugh. 57% of Android users are more likely to prefer an uglier device if they can get it for cheaper.
Time out.
And if it has more full features.
Time the F out. Uglier is subjective.
That's true.
Okay.
That's true.
Point is moot. Move on,
Okay.
council.
But 71% are more likely to have never left their native country. So if you're into
The hell?
travel
Oh, so
photos,
I'm not
maybe
cultured?
you're not going to be seeing anything internationally.
Get out of here. What is that? How do they even
Yeah.
figure out a freaking out of left field statistic like that?
That makes sense, though.
How does that make sense?
Because Android Instagram users are probably going to be posting photos of the inside of their apartment.
Right.
Yeah, and I
And-
want to see photos of the
and
Eiffel Tower.
It'll be the inside of their apartment and the line at the soup kitchen. That's what they'll be taking photos of.
The welfare.
The welfare line. Because that's what's going to happen.
Because people are using
Yes.
smartphones in the welfare.
Because they're
line.
like, finally, Instagram came. I could take a freaking silhouette vignette picture.
I would love
Get out of here.
to see a photo. I don't care what kind of smartphone it is. I want to see a photo of somebody using a smartphone in a food stamp line or
Yeah,
something like that. That'd
for
be
sure.
interesting.
That would be
Very
interesting.
ironic.
It's it's just so disgusting to me.
All right.
I'm disgusted by this. whole thing.
Let's poke some fun at iPhone users now. We got to be fair.
Let's. The door swings both ways, you trendy. Yeah, go on.
Okay. Yeah, way to censor yourself
I
there.
just stopped.
Just stop
I
yourself.
just stopped. Yeah.
So iOS users, 37% more likely to have a graduate degree. So maybe not
37.
so smart.
Yeah. Guess not.
Yeah.
Maybe because they all fall in line.
17% are more likely to be politically liberal versus 20% of Android users more likely to be politically conservative.
Yeah.
So, are you Republican?
No.
Okay.
Am I?
Are you a Republican?
Yes. Oh, you didn't
You a
realize?
closet Republican?
You could-
Son of a bitch.
You know, it's fun. I did my taxes the other. I told you,
Yeah.
and my accountant sort of came out as a very big Republican, but
Right.
like a self-hating Republican.
Okay.
My favorite kind of Republican. And he was talking to me like I was, and I was sort of like, hey man, I'm not in your club.
Yeah.
I'm not in your club,
What
but
was
I
he
didn't want
talking
him to
about?
like not screw. He was talking about how the country's going down the crapper or
Oh,
whatever.
okay.
And I was like, hey, I'm not in your club.
Yeah.
Sort of like the same Instagram issue. I'm not a part of your secret club, sir.
But
Don't-
you had to be kind of nice to him because he was going to
'cause-
give you
right,
tons of
that's
money.
the thing. I was like, but at the same time, can we screw the system over
Yeah.
so you can maybe get me a bigger refund?
Yeah.
Can we do that? You know?
It's the individual mentality versus the group
Yeah,
mentality.
exactly,
It's much
exactly.
different.
Hey,
I like how 22% of iOS users are more likely to prefer a sleeker device that does less things. So
How
they're
can they-
more concerned with aesthetics
But how
than
can they
functionality.
make these determinations when if you have an iOS device, you have one device?
Yes.
So
You can only have
you can
that
only
device.
have one device.
Yeah.
This whole survey can be thrown out the door.
50% of iOS users are more likely than Android users to have visited more than 5 countries.
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm starting to get on the side on the side of this little iPhone that I have in my hand. Are you gonna join Instagram? Doesn't
No.
matter because I won't follow you anyway. You poor loser. Get out of my feed.
They should have these little badges next to Android users
Yeah.
to make them sub-citizens. You know,
Yeah.
like don't waste your time with this
Yeah.
guy. You know,
They should have like a poor filter.
don't get me wrong, a poor filter. Don't get me wrong, okay? And I want to stress this because people are gonna start calling up and be like, "Oh, Jeff, the truth comes out. You hate iPhones." No, I don't. And in terms of Instagram,
Yeah.
when we're dealing with that topic, the iPhone 4S is the best camera phone ever made.
Right.
Okay, so I understand what they're saying.
That's an empirical argument. The
That's
photos,
empirical.
But everyone's making their photos crappier anyway on Instagram, so it doesn't
Thank
even
you.
matter.
That's my point, is that you're all just eliminating pixels and doing certain
Right.
things to the color tones and hues
Everything
and whatnot
looks the same
anyway.
when you holgify it.
Exactly.
Right? When you lomify it, it's all
Exactly.
crappy. in the end.
Exactly. At the end of the day, everyone's crap smells the same. what I'm
Everyone's
trying to
crappy photos look the same.
They do. We're a little hot and heavy right now. We'll take a break. When we come back, more 404. We'll get off this very upsetting subject. Man, I didn't think it was gonna devolve into racism. Didn't think iPhone users had it in them.
Well, we're all racist.
You know?
Deal with it.
Same thing. It's like Instagram, iPhone, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare. This is all the people out of the woodwork. They all show their faces. More 404 right after this. Stick around.
This is the 404 MRFers, the show where we all sing songs.
This is Philly from Josh, and you're listening to the 404, where two guys talk about sitting in traffic while you're actually sitting in traffic.
Wait, what did we talk about? Did we talk about sitting in traffic? Like recently?
Oh, we talked about Google driverless cars and how
Right.
they would eliminate traffic.
Yes. That's what we did.
Yeah.
Right? Minority Report, driverless cars.
Oh yeah, that's right. They had those pods though. Those are really cool.
Those mag track pods.
yeah.
So cool.
We need
So
to get
cool.
Richard in here. He's right now at the New York Auto Show. I
Oh,
think,
right,
with
right, right.
Wayne.
Yeah. And BC, the cool.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
We gotta get him in here afterward. I want to know what that flying car is all about.
You think they'll have it there?
They are gonna have it there.
It's not gonna fly though.
I don't know. Maybe it'll just be hovering over the
Maybe I'll
convention
spread my
center.
car's wings and fly away.
This is ridiculous. Technology is not going the way that I had expected it to.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
You know?
I mean, all right, so I think that brings up a good topic of conversation. When you were young, when you were 12 and 13, and you were like, oh, by the time I'm 40, this is going to be there. What was that? What did you, because there's no way anyone who grew up in our generation
Right.
wasn't.
Well, that's my point, though, is that
yeah.
I always assumed that whatever would come out, I would never have seen before. And that's why I feel like some of the movie adaptations, or the real-life adaptations of the movie technology, is kind of disappointing. Like, I've already seen that stuff before. We've seen the Google Glasses and the tablet PCs used in movies like Back to the Future.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, even A Space Odyssey, for example, showed those tablets. That's decades old.
Yeah.
And to see things materialize that are directly influenced from those products is kind of disappointing. I thought it would be mind-blowing stuff that I never would have thought of.
Now wait, take it for what it is, okay?
Yeah.
Something like the iPad, specifically the latest one
Mhm.
with the resolution.
Right.
If you were to go back 40 years,
Yeah.
show somebody that,
Yeah.
they would burn you at the stake because they think you were like some sorcerer.
Yeah, it
You know
would
what
have
I mean?
blown minds for sure.
So don't forget, we have rid this sort of been aboard on this train as it goes down the track of technological evolution.
Yeah.
So we've been sort of, it's like when you see when someone loses a lot of weight, but you see him every day, you don't notice it.
Okay.
It's that sort of thing, as opposed to like, oh my God, I haven't seen you in 3 years. You've lost 70 pounds.
Right.
You know
Okay.
what I
You make
mean?
a good. I see
You know
what
what I
you're saying.
mean?
It's incremental.
Right.
And of course, we had to evolve from like a TV set to a smaller TV set to a mobile television set.
Right.
Then like
Someone in a
PDA,
coma for
phone,
25
computer.
years would be quite impressed.
That's
with
what I
we've
want.
done.
I want to live in suspended animation for a little while.
I
and
wish
come
I could
out.
do that.
Yeah.
I wish I could just take a nap for 400 years,
Yeah.
see what's going on in 2500.
Are there places? Are there aspects of our life that need technology put into them, like orthodontics, for example?
Yeah, I mean, there's probably advancements in there. I've always thought that the biggest sort of change needs to come with our financial system in terms of like checks and stuff.
Oh,
Like,
right.
why am I writing a check?
Yeah.
Why am I ever writing a check?
Or pencils?
Well, no, that's fine.
You mean, or
no,
you're
the
just
written
saying, like,
word I
actual
think will live
checks?
on forever. I really do. I really think, like, when I go to a game demo,
Mhm.
I see some journalists with their like iPads, they're trying to type. No, I'm
Right.
sorry. Freehand, note taking. There's nothing faster than that.
You're right.
Without, you know what I mean?
Sure,
Without just
yeah.
recording what's going on.
Right.
So I think that is never going away. But the whole concept of like checks and money transfer, like if I write a check
Mhm.
and I give you a check, that's like a 6 working day process.
No, okay. So
You know what I
you're
mean?
not taking into account things like check scanning
Right, but that's
on your Chase account.
but that's
you know?
putting a Band-Aid on the bigger problem. Do you know what I mean?
You mean like actual money transfers?
Right, exactly. And I know it's
Well, what
sort
do
of
you want?
there. I just want instant. I
Mhm.
just want it instant.
Right.
I want to not even write a check anymore. I just want to like thumb something, or I want to be able to transfer money.
When are you ever writing checks? Though?
I write
feel like
checks
there
to
is
pay my
technology that
mortgage. My
exists.
freaking mortgage company doesn't take anything but checks.
You do a wire transfer.
That's a pain in the ass.
Okay.
You know what I
Alright.
mean?
Yeah, I guess so.
I call them up. I'm like, hey, can I pay you guys online? Like, what's the deal? They're like, oh, we don't do that yet. I'm like, what year am I
Right.
calling? You
Okay.
know what I
See,
mean?
I guess I didn't think about your whole housing situation, but I was thinking more along the lines of friends going out to dinner and owing someone money.
Well,
I don't really handle cash anymore because I downloaded this app called Venmo.
Right.
And if people sign up for it, it lets you, connect to your checking account or whatever, and,
And
then
send money?
select someone's name really easily.
But
yeah.
you're paying fees and stuff,
No,
right?
no, it's
What is it
free.
called? Venmo?
Venmo.
VENO?
Yeah, you can use that as a verb. Venmo me, bro.
VENMO?
VENMO. Yeah, like vendor mo.
It's wow. You could spell venom out of that. That's weird.
Yeah.
Anyway. So that's what we're talking about.
I want to ask our listeners what they think needs a techno upgrade. Because I want to know.
What aspect of your day to day? What
Yeah.
aspect of your daily life would benefit from an uber tech upgrade?
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like think about your day to day.
Mm-hmm.
You brush your teeth.
You
Well,
eat.
in your case, once a
Brush
month.
my teeth with sugar.
You shower.
Rub
you know
that
what I
pixie
mean?
stick.
There's
dust.
still a few things that are just forever ingrained in the analog reality.
Right.
I don't think they're ever going to improve showering.
I think all that stuff is limited to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Right? We need a serious bathroom upgrade.
Serious. Let's get on board with that.
I don't know though. Maybe eating, right? Like I
No.
remember when we were young, we all thought that food would come in pills, and that hasn't
Yeah,
happened
but then
yet.
we grew up and realized I can afford that fillet.
Yeah, and I enjoy eating.
And I enjoy eating it.
Right.
And that lobster tail would go great
Mhm.
in scampi sauce. Would it not?
I remember writing with a pencil and thinking, this is so weird. Like, when was the last time you've actually written with a lead pencil? Not a mechanical pencil, not a quicker clicker.
Oh, an actual good
an
old
actual,
number
like,
2?
Orion pencil.
Number 2? I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Next time you do it, smell it.
No.
When was the last time you smelled the pencil?
Smell the pencil? What's
yeah,
it smell
I used to
like?
love doing that. When
Smells like the past? What does it smell like?
Smells like 1985.
I guess so. All right, that was weird. Let's get the calls from the public.
Time to show the love.
Call me.
866-404-CNET.
404.
Calls from the public time, sponsored by the number 2 pencil. We got a call from We talk a lot about Kinect.
Yeah.
Kinect Star Wars. A terrible creation. Unfortunately, I wanted it to be awesome, but it wasn't. So this guy says that Kinect is probably not for us anymore.
844 guys, Orlando, Florida from Edwin. Just calling. Little feedback on Jeff, hating on the Kinect. I have a Kinect, and personally, I'm not a huge fan of it, even though, I play it once in a while. But my kids absolutely love the thing. They play, the Dance Central games and all these other games that they have, more directed towards kids, and they're on it all the time. So I understand where you're coming from, but you got to understand, man, you're 30 now, and, these things, they don't make sense to you. You're getting older, man, but it's selling for a reason, because kids
Too real,
love it.
man.
They're using it, and, I'm sure if you were younger, you would have.
Oh, he's nice. So you know Edwin.
By the way, happy birthday.
I love it.
Edwin's a good dude.
Edwin's the man.
He's
and
funny.
He
He calls
called
in a lot.
your ass out.
Well, no,
You
it-
are an old man.
Yeah, believe me. I still play the Mario games. I'm young at heart.
If you have to say something like that, like I still play the Mario games. I'm
just,
hip. I'm cool.
I'm on the Twitter. Just relax. I'm not
You're
Dr.
the
Evil.
Macarena.
As funny as his point is,
That's the point I was trying
I know
to
he's
make.
sort of, but the thing is that the reality of Kinect is that it is most certainly aimed at a younger audience.
Yeah.
There's no getting around that.
Because old people don't want to get up when they're playing video games. They
Yeah,
want to
but
veg
don't,
out
but
on
don't
the couch.
give me that crap because
That
when
is
the
the
Wii
crap.
no, the crap is this. When the Wii came out, the headlines that were being made
Right.
was, holy crap, we put a Wii in a nursing home.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And look at these freaking elderly people
Right.
bowling and
Right.
stuff like that. And they have tournaments and they get it and they
Yeah.
know what to do. Do you
But
know
I'm
what I
not
mean?
talking about senior citizens. I'm talking about, folks our age, like
Oh, I'm
25
sorry.
to 45.
I'm sorry.
Or 50, like no one wants to get up and do
With-
like a fake
With a
bowling
few
thing.
exceptions, and those exceptions
Or
being
like shake maracas. If I wanted to do that, I would shake real maracas.
I understand what you're saying. With a few exceptions of The Child of Eden, of Gunstringer, of Dance Central,
Mm-hmm.
and a few limited others, Kinect is
Definitely a
just
kids game.
not for everybody.
Yeah, it's for kids.
And it just doesn't work as well as I think people were really hoping for.
If Microsoft hasn't figured it out how to do, things like movement, like sensing,
Yeah.
things like that, do you think Google would be better at it? I mean, in terms of...
that technology is all outsourced out anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you made a good point. If Siri can't even do it, then I don't know how Google's going to do voice recognition. You're going to
Isn't
be
that kind
constantly
of
correcting
accurate?
yourself. Yeah.
Google Glass is already better than Siri.
Yeah.
Is that weird saying that?
Well, in concept, yeah.
Concept. It already works better.
Yeah.
Um,
If nothing else, it'll help me remember people's names, which
Sure.
That's one part of my life I need
Oh,
technology.
I struggle with that so much.
Yeah.
Being put in the face with the name. Imagine having that in your freaking HUD. Love it.
I'm so bad at that,
oh,
too.
and Mr. Peters. Oh, and your wife Mindy. How
Yeah,
are you?
exactly. Like, I would just
Oh.
be volunteering too much
Yeah.
information.
You went to BU also?
Yeah,
Great.
yeah. Like, this stuff has nothing to do with it. Like, referencing Twitter updates they made 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so how was that ski trip you went on back in 08? What?
All healed up from that?
Where'd you pull that from?
It's great. It's great. More calls about Game of Thrones. We're sorry, all right? People think we're like butchering the show. We're not into it as much as
I made a
people
few
are.
mistakes with the names, so
Yeah, all
I'm
right. My
sorry.
sword's name is Ned. Deal with it. Finally,
Wait,
this-
you're not going to play the voicemails that had to
No,
do with Game of Thrones?
I just don't want to get more into it. We only have a few minutes
But
left.
I wanted you to
also.
talk about how you Anglify some of the names. That was really funny.
That's for pre-show stuff. Yes, if I don't understand your name in the realm, I give it an English name.
Brom
Brom is Brian. Stuff like that.
Carl.
Carl is Carl. The guy married to the Khaleesi? Yeah, he's Carl.
That's funny.
It's like, hey, I'm Carl. Like my hair?
Right.
And finally, we're making fun of people who cheat on games like Words with Friends.
Right.
I think people like that should be arrested. But this guy's saying that we're cheaters, and his point is terrible. But let's play it nonetheless.
Hey, it's New York from Albany. I just wanted to call in and let you guys know that you guys are cheaters.
Mm-hmm.
While all of CNET is going away, you guys remain. We both know that you guys cheated death on this one by having president of CBS Interactive Jim Lanzone on your show.
That's
Yeah, we
not
did.
why.
And
It is.
whose idea was it to have Jim on the show? It was Jeff's idea. Therefore, Jeff is a cheater. Tag her hard.
Okay.
Totally don't.
He said
Get
Tiger
that.
Heart sent
Yeah,
it.
gross.
No, he's lying. We didn't cheat.
I don't get it. So somehow having Jim Lens.
Well, I think he just wanted to find a way to label us as cheaters.
All right.
Anyway, it does lead us into another topic I want to bring up real quick before we got to go. Buzz Out Loud is actually having its last episode today. It's very sad. They've been around for years and years and years.
Sure.
When you really think about it, and no BS here, without a BOL, there's no 404. Isn't that right, Justin?
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
true,
I mean,
because-
they were the first really big podcast
Right.
on CNET, and they got a lot of people interested in listening to our show, too.
And don't forget, it was
we spawned
right.
from their show.
There was a CES, I think it was 08,
Yeah.
where it was like Randall at the time who was helping us out with the show. He worked out some deal that we were going to take over their feed.
Yeah.
I didn't even understand what that meant.
You jacked their feed.
I didn't even understand what that meant. I was like, all right, whatever. Are we going to get in trouble for that?
What is that? That means that you put the 404 into their RSS
yeah,
feed?
is what I learned 4 years later. Is
Yeah.
what that meant.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, everyone who has ever been a part of that show,
Mm.
going all the way back to Veronica, Jason Howell, Tom Merritt, all those cats,
Sure.
and Molly, and now Brian, everybody, you guys have done a great job. It's sad to see you go, but there's a lot of bright things coming.
It's not
down
like the
pike.
people on BOL are going away.
Of course.
Either. It's just the name BOL.
So make sure you check out their last episode, which is airing today. It'll be live and on demand later in the day.
Yeah.
And enjoy that and enjoy the end of an era.
If you want to talk more about Game of Thrones, you could say that we're the bastard child of BOL, and we are now holding up the wall.
Right.
Right?
We're the Night's Watch.
Yeah, we're the Night's Watch. Watch out, White Walkers. Who are the White Walkers in this analogy?
The man.
Yeah.
Whoever the man is, watch out.
All these white guys walking around the hallway. If Wilson was here, he would laugh at that.
You have no friend in that realm
No,
anymore,
no.
buddy. That's going to do it for us, guys. 866-404-CNET is our telephone number. Give us a call and leave a message, or you can email us, the404@cnet.com. Read our blog every day. Justin does a great job of not crediting images. the404.cnet.com. Big news to tell everybody. It looks like we will be having Morgan Spurlock, director of the new Comic-Con movie.
Cool.
He'll be here a week from Friday. We'll talk about his other movies in the past, Super Size Me, stuff like that. So it'll be a lot of fun. Make sure you tune into that. We'll give you more details as they develop. Until tomorrow, I'm Jeff Bakalar.
And I'm Justin Yu.
It's the 404, high-tech, lowbrow. Have a great Thursday, guys, and we will see you tomorrow.